Okay, guys, it's Friday morning, and my wife complained the other day about the headlights on her Jeep, about them being foggy. So I'm going to do a headlight restore. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can pick up the how foggy they are, how oxidized they are. This could be on both sides of the plastic, but you can hear as I run my hand across it that it's not smooth. And that was the left one, and here's the right one, and you can actually kind of see some pitting in the headlight here. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to attempt to take it out. It looks like some of the oxidation may be happening on the back side, so I'm not sure how successful I'll be, but let's give this thing a go here now. I'm going to try to sand this out first before I buff it. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to spray it down with water here. A little bit of water on each headlight. And there's a tiny bit of soap in this. Okay. So now we're going to take and wipe that water down. Make sure you have a clean rag. And you can still hear the grittiness on the headlight. Yeah, it looks like there's some on the inside here, so we may not get it all, but we'll make it a lot better. Okay, so now that the headlight's wiped down, what we're going to do is take some of this invisible glass, just a chemical cleaner, spray it on here, spray it on each one, let it sit in for a second. All right. Take some clean paper napkins here and wipe this stuff off. Okay. Now that the headlight's clean, what we're going to do, we're going to take, you can see here that I stopped taking stuff off with the rag. Make sure there's nothing visible, no visible spots on it. Same thing with this one. Make sure that there are nothing visible on your rag. Okay, so now that the rag's done, I've got sandpaper in here in soapy water. We're going to let that soak for a little bit, and then we'll sand it with 800 and then 15,000, or 1500 and then 2000 grit. So see you in a few minutes as soon as the sandpaper's ready. I like to wait about 10-15 minutes. Okay, so now that the sandpaper's been soaking for a little while, I have a little squeegee here from like a window tint kit. What you do is that you take your sandpaper and you start with the 800. And remember, when you go with 800, that it's cutting a lot of plastic. So there's 2,000, here's 800. So what you do is you take and you wrap it around here kind of tight, and around the squeegee like this. Kind of tight so the squeegee stays kind of flat. You don't want to use your fingers because it'll use finger grooves. Then you take and you keep it wet, keep it clean. Put a little bit of soapy water on the light, and you go across the headlight with the sandpaper. Now you're going to see it make it kind of foggy. And this is 800, so you don't really have to press. But by using the 800 on the squeegee, what you do is that you're going to take the finger grooves out. You're not going to have finger grooves in your headlight. As with all sandpaper, and you'll see some of the plastic coming off here. The foggy stuff in the sandpaper, or in the water coming down, is plastic. So you're actually cutting a little bit of plastic off of here. But by using the squeegee, you're keeping the surface uniform. You don't want to go any coarser than 800. 800 will take it out, and you'll immediately feel it. It's going smooth. You can hear it in the sandpaper. Surface clean. Now go the other direction. Okay. Clean. Go the other way. Again. You're trying to just cut it so there's no more dimples in the glass or in the plastic at all. A little bit of elbow grease. Keep the paper clean, keep the surface clean. Okay, after a couple passes like this, you don't want to go too many with the 800 because this is really cutting. All right, so now we're going to go over and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so now we're done with the 800 grit, and you can see the scratches in there, but it's still really smooth. The glass is real, or the plastic's real smooth now. You can see it on both sides here. Now this one here's got some oxidation on the inside, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get, I don't think, we're not going to be able to get that out for sure. But the plastic surface here is very, very smooth. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move up to the 1000 grit. Now in the 1000 grit, what I'm doing here is I'm taking this and I'm going at a 45. It's going to help remove the scratches that the 800 put in, because I went at a 90 and I went parallel to the floor. So this right here, I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle, and this will help take the scratches that the 800 left. And then I'm going to go 45 the other way. You shouldn't hear any pitting, shouldn't hear any scratching. You do want to use a squeegee. You don't want to do this with just your fingers. You create ripples in the plastic. It won't light even. Okay, I'm going to go do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now the headlights are already clean, and well, they're not wiped down yet, but they're wiped down. Wipe them down, and now we're going to do the same thing. Wet it down with the soap and water and wrap the paper around the squeegee, and this time we're going to use 2000 grit. Keep it nice and flat so it won't create any imperfections in the plastic. Now 2000 will put a little bit more effort, a little bit more, because these scratches will be much finer, and this is going to take out the scratches from 800 and from the 1000. So we'll spend a little bit more time with 2000, going across the whole glass, the whole, or the plastic. go across the whole surface, up and down, and back and forth. And hit a 45. And I'm kind of pushing on this a little bit. I don't want any of the scratches from the more aggressive sandpaper in here, so the 2000 will remove those. You hear anything, clean it down, wipe it off. Color will go uniform. The scratches, it'll start looking like it's a uniform color across the spectrum. So the whole surface of the plastic here will start to look flat. Okay, once this is done, then you go on to the other side. Okay, so now that the it's been sanded with the 800, the 1000, and then the 2000. We wipe it down. I cleaned it off a little bit. Wipe it down and make sure that it's just smooth. Perfectly smooth. You do that and clean on both sides. Make sure you're not getting anything off on your microfiber towel. Okay, now go get a buffer and we'll put some 3M rubbing compound on here and we'll buff this out, and then we'll hit it with some Meguiar show car glaze and it'll look like new. Okay, so here's the 3M rubbing compound and the Meguiar show car glaze. Make sure you shake them up, so that way you don't have any chemicals on the bottom, and that the chemicals are all mixed up on them, especially if they sat for a little while. And then I got my handy Harbor Freight buffer, and I'm going to set it at about 1000 RPM. Take the rubbing compound. Just a little dabble do you here on a clean pad. It might be too much. Kind of spread it around a little bit. Okay, now try to keep it flat on the surface and go all the way across the glass. You'll see it start to come right out. That's the sign. Keep it moving so you don't cut into the plastic. You get all the compound off. That's already looking much better. But we'll put the steel car glaze on there and it'll look perfect. Okay, I'll let it sit up for a second. Let it go like a solid white color. When it does, you can buff it off. Wipe it off with your microfiber towel. And then you do the same thing with the show car glaze. Okay, now just a little dab of the show car glaze on here, kind of spread it around the pad so it doesn't fling the material. I'd like to get up the speed just a little bit on the buffer, maybe 1500 or 2000. And this will take, the show car glaze will take out the scratches that the rubbing compound left behind. Sort of like you did with the sandpaper. And when the plastic looks flat, that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, that's it. Okay, now we let this sit up for a couple seconds. Let it go till like the paste goes white. That'll allow it to be taken off. As soon as it goes white, then you can wipe it off. And there you go. Now I'm going to go do the same thing to the other side, and the headlight is incredibly, it's a lot better. That's it, guys. That's how to restore your headlight. Okay, here's what the headlights look like with just wiped down with the microfiber towel. You can still see a little bit of oxidation right here in the lower part, but up here where the light shines, it's nice and clear. And the same thing goes on the other side. You see a remarkable change in the lens, although right here we see a little bit of fogginess, probably from the heat of the lamp. But here where the light shines through, it should be nice. So that's it, guys. That's how to restore the headlamps the right way, not just buff them out. So good luck.